Hello everyone, how are you? Hope you all are doing well and hope you and your families are doing okay. Now, this story is, I would say, the final hurrah of little Danielle Rowe. May her soul rest in peace. Now, the person who took out Danielle Rowe, her sentencing was recently. And while this situation is really sad on many levels, because here it was a woman that fall in love with a man that she trusted wholesomely, and he basically was playing her, and not only that, he gave her a deadly disease. It's not easy to try to understand that, you know, but at the end of the day, two wrong don't make a right, because she went after the man's child because she couldn't get to go after the man. Now the thing with that is this: women or men for that matter, you need to understand this. You see, some men are not so in tune with their children enough for when you take their child away or do harm to their child, it affects them that deeply. Not saying this is the case with Danielle Rowe, but on a whole, you know, sometimes you're angry with a man or a woman. I'm trying to be balanced how it could possibly be. And you feel like, oh, I'm going to hurt him, pitney, and so on. It not really makes sense, because sometimes the only person that is really going to feel hurt the real way will be the mother, because sometimes many of these men are just sperm donors and they don't really care that deeply about what is happening in their children's life. You understand? But when you go after him thinking you're going to hurt him through his child, of course he's only human, and he will react in terms of, boy, I'm child, and so on and thing. And it's not really as deep as how it would affect the mother. You know, the mother carry the child for 9 months. It's the mother that does everything. It's the mother that has to face all the consequences and have to face all the bills, face all the upgrowing of the child. Really and truly, you only end up hurting the mother the most. So women in the future, if you don't have problem with a man, don't go after them children. Worse if it's a situation where the man and the woman, which is the mother of the child, don't even deal. You're not really hurting much. And we're talking about mostly Jamaican men, because that's what we know of, and so on. And many of them is not interactive in their child's life as how they make it seem. They put on a big showcase out there, and them a father and this and that, when really and truly it's not deep. But you see, the mothers are feed them belly pain. Is them having to spend, is them having to feed the child, is them having to clothe the child. Most of them, out of cases, having to be the one that do everything. So it's really unfair when you go after the child of a man. You understand? So it brings me to this story on Satchell sentencing. Satchell said that she never intended to CUT the CHILD child's neck, you know what I mean? And that is what she said at her life sentencing. And Danielle Rowe's mother said any forgiveness that she had for her, she don't have it for her anymore. As Kayodia Satchell claimed, she had no intention of hurting Danielle Rowe on that fatal day of June the 8th, 2023, but she snapped. It was the day the child she lost would have been born, and she felt Danielle's father, who she believed infected her with HIV, should have also lost his child. She said on the day of the incident, she was overcome with grief and never intended to hurt the victim, but planned to use her to get her former partner, Norval Rowe, to respond, but neither he nor the mother of the deceased child would respond. Justin Carlin Typowell said, quoting excerpts from Satchell's social inquiry report during yesterday's sentencing. Satchell said, looking back, she's very remorseful and she was very tearful, as she's a 32-year-old dental assistant who had suffered a miscarriage after learning of her HIV status. Said she is utterly sorry for what she did. Satchell, who pleaded guilty to takeout and taking away little Daniela in September, was sentenced life in prison and ordered to serve 27 years and 4 months for Daniela's takeout before being eligible for parole. She was also sentenced to 4 years and 11 months for child stealing. The sentences are to run concurrently. Justice Ty Powell, in handing down the sentence, shaved off 1 year and 10 months for time spent in remand. She also discounted the child's takeout sentence by 10% for her early guilty plea. A distraught Sudani Mason, Danielle's mother, said she had changed her mind about forgiving her for taking her child. I don't have any forgiveness for her anymore. And I heard she took my baby's life because that day was supposed to have been her due date for the delivery of her child, but she used that day as an intent to come and take my child. The mother of two said she had considered forgiving Satchell after she had apologized and after hearing that she was infected with a disease that she would now have to live with for the rest of her life, but now has a change of heart. Satchell abducted the 7th grade student from Brayton Primary School in St. Catherine on June 8 last year. Danielle was found later that day with her throat damage on Roosevelt Avenue in St. Andrew. You know, with YouTube we can't be so explicit, so I try as much as possible to say it in a different way, but you guys who follow the story will try and understand, please. She passed from injuries at the Bustamante Hospital for Children 2 days later. According to Satchell in her social inquiry report, she panicked after taking Daniela, and she did not know what to do with her, and at one point contemplated leaving her at the police station. However, she said she went to urinate, and while Daniela was standing in front of her with her back turned, she saw a cutting implement and took it up, and that's when she did it. Satchell also indicated that she was truly sorry, said she had tried desperately to speak with Norval, that is Daniel's father, after learning of her HIV status, but that he did not respond, neither did Daniel's mother. So seemingly after she found out her HIV status, she would have contacted Daniela's mother and Daniela's father to confirm what is going on with her. But of course, no one paid her any mind. When phone records were checked, it showed that she had called Danielle's parents several times on June 8th and even once on June 10th. The child, Satchell, said she had also sought help from the Independent Commission of Investigations, Center for Investigation of SEXUAL Offenses and CHILD and from senior officers at the police station where Norval worked, but was not successful. This is the thing, prevention could have cured all this, because check this out. Remember, after she was infected by allegedly Daniela's father, Norval, she go to the police station, I think this also supposed to be a crime, because bear in mind, if he knowingly had it already and he still got into a relationship with her, unprotected, and gave it to her. She reaching out to Indicom and all the police adversaries to get some kind of help to put the situation on the table for both of them to deal with it, whether for him to be fired, for him to be charged, but at least somebody couldn't intercede, like step in and try to strike a balance. No, because guess what happened? Police look out for each other, and this is the thing that is going to mash up the society, because wrong is wrong. If you are a police officer and you did wrong, it would have been so much easier for the powers that be, who she had gotten in contact with, to take it up in hand. Now she felt like a broken record, trying to contact everyone, and no one is giving her any attention. Not saying that her actions were justified in terms of unleashing her anger on the Danielle, no. But what I'm saying is that sometimes, if we coulda, shoulda, woulda, if someone had just listened, if they were not playing the game of police looking out for their own, this case would have gone so much different. I bet you she just wanted someone to acknowledge what is going on with her. Justice Ty Powell, however, said she found that there were significant levels of premeditation and treated that as one of the aggravating factors, even if the initial intention, as the defense suggests, was not to take her out. The initial plan morphed into something frightening, dark, and sinister, as the accused said on the date that would have been the expected delivery date of her child. She thought he should lose his child, as I lost mine, the judge said. Just bear in mind the accused, Satchell, had Danielle for close to 2 hours before doing what she did to her. The element of spite and revenge is palpable and appalling, and the person who was on the receiving end had done nothing to the accused, she added. I just think it's a typical case where Jamaica always have this court and always have this kind of mentality, is where if you can't catch Quacky, you catch him short. In this case, she couldn't get to Danielle's father, so she get to his child, which would have been his shot. Satchell told probation officers in her social inquiry report that in 2019 she had a very abusive relationship with Danielle's father, but that after it ended, they rekindled for one day last year. However, she said following that encounter, Norval left a message on Facebook saying if he was in her shoes, he would have gotten tested for HIV. Meaning say, after him done sleep with the woman, him leave a message on Facebook and telling her say she better go check if she have HIV, which is evidence that he knew he already had HIV. You know what I'm saying? All he needed was for someone to intervene because she had this evidence there. So she was thinking Norval was just scheming and just being spiteful. So she blocked him and later got involved in a new relationship and became pregnant before being told about her HIV status. Now can you imagine? She got take on a new relationship without doing the checks, even though Norval had said it to her on Facebook. She never take it serious. So obviously now this new man would have contracted this HIV from her. But it's when she's pregnant and went to do her regular checks, she find out that she was positive. I can't imagine how shocking that would have been for her. However, she said she did not take the news well, and as a result was placed on suicide watch and had subsequent miscarriage. Following the sentencing, Danielle's mother said, I'm very much pleased she got the life sentence that I wanted for her, knowing that my daughter is no longer among the land of the living. Danielle's mother also said she was convinced that Satchell was being truthful about how she contracted the virus and is of the view that Norval should be held accountable for his actions. Exactly in which way spin the cat. He is also guilty of the whole situation as well. I always say he is the reason why Danielle's life was taken. If he never do what he do, my baby would have died here, she said. Danielle know her, so if that never happened, Danielle would have still be here today. Justice Typowell said the only appropriate sentence for Satchell was life, as his victim was stolen from school and taken out in such a heinous and savage way. It was brutal and it was nonsensical, she said. The judge in arriving at the sentence began at a starting point of 23 years, which he said was higher than what was used by the Court of Appeal in the case of Cassie, who had taken out a Jamaica college student, Nicholas Francis, during a bus robbery on October 26, 2016. Justice Typowell said what Satchell did was more egregious. In increasing the sentence to 33 years, the judge considered factors such as the age of the child, increasing prevalence of child takeout, the nature and manner of the takeout, that there was a breach of trust, as well as the devastating impact of the takeout on the family whose world has been left in disarray and pain. Mitigating factors such as Satchell's training and gainful employment and her mental state were also factored in, resulting in her sentencing being reduced to 32 years before the 10% and pre-remanded sentence was applied, bringing it down to 27 years and 4 months. It cannot be downplayed that the circumstances of this offense are tremendously disturbing, and the life-altering impact this had on the family of Daniela. There will perhaps always be a thread of sadness over their lives, Justice Typowell said. She further noted that Satchell did was sheer evil. Attorney Matthew Hyatt, who was watching the proceedings for Daniela's mother, welcomed the ruling as being very appropriate, given the callous and brutal manner in which the takeout was done. He described the sentence as an early Christmas gift for the family and expressed hope that it would begin the process of closure for them. At the same time, Hyatt emphasized that what is done can be undone. Persons need to look and see that whenever you commit these heinous and senseless crimes, you'll be brought to justice. Such as attorney Donovan Collin, who appeared along with Pierre Rogers, said he accepted the sentence as the judge had considered all the relevant principles for his client. Collin said she is sad but will have to focus now on rehabilitation. I certainly hope that the next person that is looked at to be accountable and at least be charged with something be Daniela's father, because he is the beginning, the middle, and the end of all this. His actions cause all these reactions. As I tell you, oh boy, sometimes when you meet someone and getting into a relationship, you wish if you could just see those red flags just sticking out, and then you can identify what each red flags mean, and it is upon you if you want to proceed into this relationship. Yeah man, there should be something that you can do so you know exactly what you're being a part of and what you're getting into. This is just so sad because it's a lover's quarrel turn disappointment, turn anger and hate, turn into revenge. And the person that feel the revenge of this whole trias was not the appropriate person to be on the receiving end of such a demise. such a sad, sad case that finally some justice for little Danielle Rowe. But I think it's incomplete. Now it's the father's turn. Anyway guys, please remember to like, comment and subscribe to my platform please. Love you all. Bye for now.